Hello and welcome to another episode of Unraveling Yoga. In this episode, we're going to dive into a topic which we touched briefly in the previous episode, and that is depression. We're not only going to discuss depression, we're also going to discuss anxiety and see what they're about. So let's get started. Depression. This is something which a lot of people have these days, and a lot of people are suffering through it, and it seems like very few people know what to do about it or how do you get out of it. It's almost become a chronic thing where people just say you end up suffering through depression and having depression for a long period of time, and as though there is no escape from it. You just have to take medications, continually be dependent on these medications, and there is no escape from it. However, that is not true, and to understand why that is not true, let's take a closer look at what exactly it is. So I've suffered through depression and anxiety for many years, and it took me a while to find the way to get out of it. To get out of it, all you have to do is understand exactly what depression is, or understand exactly what anxiety is, and the solution is there right within it. Right? So, what exactly is depression and what exactly is anxiety? I'm sure you would have seen a lot of people suffer through it, and you can't seem to understand what's going on. You just think, oh no, they're a bit sad, right? If you know somebody who has got depression, and you speak to them and they seem all right, and sometimes they are a bit sad, that's about it. And if you speak to someone who has anxiety, you feel like, why is this person thinking so much, and why is this person taking so much of tension? There is some issue, but it's not such a big deal, and there's no reason for this person to get so upset or so tensed about this. And you end up saying things like, relax, this is not it's not so stressful as you think, or this is not important, or whatever. Or if you find somebody who's depressed and you end up telling them, cheer up, why don't you cheer up, why is it that you're so sad all the time, look, life is so upbeat and happy, and you need to get out of the house more often, go meet your friends and all such things, right? But the thing is, don't you think they know that already, right? And for some reason they're not able to do it. That is the issue, that is the sickness. That is the problem. It's just not being sad. Being sad is a symptom of that issue. Being sad is one of the symptoms of depression, or getting tensed too quickly or getting triggered too quickly is one of the symptoms of anxiety, right? And that itself is the problem. That is the reason why they're not able to heal. It's like saying having fever, and you go talk to a person who has fever and you tell them, oh look, why is your body temperature so hot? Why don't you do something to cool it down? No, that is one of the symptoms of fever. That is how it is, and you got to treat it. And cure the underlying cause to get rid of the fever, right? Usually they give paracetamol. The reason is that the fever should not go out of control, and the body's immunity takes care of the bacterial infection, or whatever fungus infection or virus infection or whatever it is. And by the time the effects of the paracetamol wears off, the body usually would have taken care of the infections, and the fever is no longer needed, right? That's how it works. So the sadness or the triggering mechanisms of anxiety, or the sadness of depression, they all go away when we start treating the depression, treating the anxiety. We don't need to treat all of these things. In fact, depression itself or anxiety itself is a symptom of an underlying problem. That is what we're going to explore over here. Now, where do you begin? Okay, so let's take a look at what exactly happens when a person is going through a depressive spiral, right? So that's what I'd like to call it. I'd like to call it a spiral or a loop, and that's what it is called in yoga also. It's called as a chitta vritti. Chitta means the mind, and vritti is a loop, right? So we know this. People who've been through depression and people who've been through anxiety, it seems like an endless cycle of thoughts which you cannot get out of. You just continuously feel that you're worthless and you can't seem to do anything, and the world is against you. It's pretty much a range of these three things, isn't it? it's like, oh my god, I'm stuck in this situation and everybody around me doesn't understand me and everybody around me doesn't support me, or I don't have the skills, I don't have the opportunities, I always continually seem to miss all the opportunities or something like that. It's some cycle of thoughts. It'll usually go like, oh my god, I missed this opportunity, I'm so useless. Oh my god, I didn't do well in the exam, I'm so useless. And then, oh, how can I get a good job because I don't have good marks in my studies, or I don't do well in my career. And then, but I want to do well, but I've messed up all of these previous things before, and therefore in conclusion I'm useless, so I can't do anything anymore. You see, you want to do something but you can't do it, and then you find a reason you can't do it, and then one more reason you can't do it, and then you conclude you're useless, and then you decide you can't do it, and then it's a loop. You go round and round and round. Can you see that? That is exactly what happens in a depressive spiral. And in an anxiety spiral, you start seeing problems everywhere and you can't seem to find solutions to it. And not finding solution to a problem, what happens is, suppose, so I used to have massive social anxiety, and I would simply avoid meeting people at all times, like not go to family events, not go to meet friends. There was hardly one or two friends that I would meet, and the reason is that I would always think, oh no, what if they start talking about this particular topic, or what if they try to make me do things which I don't particularly like. So I'm not a party person. I don't like to go out or drink or be in noisy places, like places with loud noise like pubs or any such thing. I don't prefer that environment. It's not my cup of tea. And I would constantly worry that oh my god, these people are going to ask me to go to such places. How can I say no? If I say no, they won't talk to me anymore, but I want them to talk to me. So, oh no, I have to go to that place, but I don't want to go. Okay, I'm stuck in this problem now. Can you see? It's literally an infinite loop. You can usually, if you just dig into your anxiety or your depression, just look at the process in which you get into that. It will usually be a bunch of 4 or 5 points which will all bounce off each other and nicely complete one loop. That's it. That's all it is. This is something called Chitta Vritti. This is a very, very well-known problem which a lot of humans have faced before, and we're going to explore. Actually, the solution is in the problem itself, so we're going to explore what the solution is. So now, there is, to beat depression or to beat anxiety or to beat any Chitta Vritti, there is a two-pronged approach that you need to take. The first is you need to develop a mechanism or a set of actions which will get you out of that spiral. So, when you start that spiral and you have spent a few months in depression, you will automatically start figuring out ways to get out of it. Usually these things are bad solutions. They're like unsustainable solutions, like binge watching TV series, or ordering a cheese burst pizza from Domino's or something like that, or going out, meeting friends, or having a smoke or having a drink, or smoking weed, or whatever it is. You have come up with your own ways to break that loop. Have you thought about it? Even during anxiety, if you've gone through a stressful period, I know many smokers who smoke because they are stressed. They have gone through a period of anxiety, and to break that, they have some sort of habit. A lot of people have pets as well, because pets help them break this loop. That's it. A lot of people have a buddy system where when they're going through a spiral, they call them up, and this helps them to break that spiral as well. A lot of these systems are simply to break this loop. Simply just that. You have to have a mechanism to break that loop, and you need sustainable and easy to implement mechanisms, right? And the second phase of this is when you're not in a depressive spiral or when you're not in an anxiety spiral, you need to come up with ways on solving the issues which cause you to get into that spiral. This is it. This is how you get rid of depression and anxiety. You've got to develop better understanding of what exactly is happening in your mind and your body. This is not simply a mind issue. A large part of depression and a large part of anxiety doesn't actually have anything to do with your mind. If you have observed how you got into depression, how you started depression, how you got depressed, that's the right word, say, or how you started getting anxiety, right? You simply won't remember what happened during the transition period, right? You were normal and then suddenly you were depressed. You didn't see it coming. The reason is something changed in your body. That's it. Some physical aspect of your the chemical reactions that are happening, something has changed. That's it. That's all that's happened. So think about it. See if you can come up with the two prongs that you need to cure depression and anxiety. And in the next episode, we're going to discuss how depression and anxiety is not particularly about the mind, it's about the body, right? So this is the second part. The first part is something which you can come up with on your own, or yoga does have techniques, and maybe we can discuss that sometime later. But you can really think of coming up with techniques on your own. A lot of people work out. Exercising is a very sustainable way of getting out of depression, getting out of anxiety. That's a very, very good thing. Take up something which is creative, or taking up something creative is another aspect, but have a small routine or a small procedure which you practice every day, and this is going to help you to break that cycle, right? So when you're in a depressive spiral, what used to happen to me, and I've observed that this happens to a lot of others, is they forget. See, you might find something on YouTube and say, oh my god, good, I found this and I can use this later. Like when I'm in a depressive spiral, when I'm in depression, I can use this, or when I'm anxious, I can use this. But when you are actually depressed, or when you are going through anxiety, you simply won't remember it, right? I know a lot of people who we've discussed, me and that person, those people, we have discussed these things, and we have come up with methods to implement. We have come up with practices to things to do when we are anxious or when we are depressed. But when we actually are going through depression, when we are going through that spiral, or when we are actually anxious, we forget about it. That's the issue. So come up with something to break that loop. See how sustainable it is, and practice it every day. It has to become part of who you are. That is the only way you're going to remember it when you are in a depressive spiral or when you are having anxiety. Practice it every day. Now the second part we're going to discuss in the next video on how to cure depression, right? So for this, you need to first stop the loops. Figure out how to stop the loops, and then in the next video we're going to have a look at how to cure this thing. All right, I really hope you like this video, and if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, and please share this video with your friends. If you know people who have depression or who have anxiety and are having a hard time with it, please share it with them, and maybe we can make their life better in some way. All right, so great. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Have a nice day. Bye bye.